Hello planty friends and welcome to Plan O'Clock News.
Nice to be in orbit.
Today we'll be featuring an avocado grown from seed, a very healthy peace lily, a money tree going through rebirth, a propagated Peperomia watermelon, a bird of paradise recovering from frostbite, and a snake plant that came from the shop with green gooey. Let's get started with our avocado plant. Would you like to get a free plant from an avocado seed? Don't throw away the pit from the avocado you used to make guacamole. Instead, wash it well and place it in water for a few days. Then you will be able to pit your pit easily. Just forget about it and after 2 or 3 weeks, check how it's looking.
3 weeks later.
Time to either place it in water or soil. In water, you can stick 3 toothpicks like this and allow just the roots to be touching the water. And just be patient, it will grow. Don't throw your next avocado pit, propagate it instead. On to the peace lily, or a long-time favorite for those with a green thumb and even those without it. Spathiphyllum, commonly known as peace lily, is an adaptable and low-maintenance houseplant. It is poisonous to cats and dogs, so if you have curious pets that like to chew on your houseplant, maybe it's best not to bring home any poisonous plants. This elegant plant generally blooms in spring, and the flowers that look like a white leaf last for a couple of months before eventually turning green and dying off. Generally, lots of peace lilies don't bloom again in the same way as when they were brought home for first time, and people automatically assume they are doing something wrong care-wise. But let me tell you, you're not. At the nurseries, they gave peace lilies gibberellic acid, which is a plant hormone that makes them produce blooms like there's no tomorrow. To help the plant bloom again, you should place it in a spot which has medium light, but never direct sunlight. It could burn its leaves. Fertilize it, and if possible, water it with rainwater. And if it doesn't bloom again, just enjoy this green foliage. The money tree, or tradition, states that a poor man became wealthy when he discovered and started selling the seeds of the money tree. They are often grown in pots and also as bonsais. Although they need some sunlight, they don't necessarily need continuous exposure to direct sunlight. Proper watering is more important. In the wild, money trees are freshwater wetland plants. They need moisture and plenty of it. But potted soil that is very soggy or flooded may develop fungal diseases. This one was outside during the coldest nights of the winter, and as a result, all its leaves turned dark and brown. After bringing it inside, it has shed all the damaged leaves from the frostbite, and as you can see, it has plenty of new growth. We will be following this phoenix arising from the ashes. To Peperomia watermelon, or don't let the name fool you. The only watermelons you're gonna get from this plant is the watermelon-shaped leaf. This plant is pretty easy to grow as a house plant. It can survive with a bit of neglect because actually giving too much attention could hurt it. There's more than 1,000 plants in the Peperomia family, and most of them they share similar features, like they're relatively small sized. This one, it has been grown from a propagated leaf, and right now, as you can see, it's growing a lot of tiny leaves. Peperomias do not enjoy cold temperatures, so keeping it indoors in a room that is used a lot will be the best spot for your tiny plant. It is also non-toxic to cats and dogs, so you can safely grow it at home. There is another fact about peperomias. They are related to the black pepper plant, and their resemblance to the plant is what gives it its name. Peperomia comes from Greek words peperi, which means pepper, and homoios, which means similar, same. So there you go. Peperomias are similar to the black pepper plant. The bird of paradise, or the most spectacular and impactful flowering plant from tropical and semi-tropical zones. The growing conditions for bird of paradise are actually very specific, but northern gardeners don't despair. The plant gets its name from the unusual flowers, which resemble bright colored birds in flight. I guess you thought that it was like that. But actually, it is looking like this. The plant needs warm temperatures and plenty of sunshine to produce the characteristic blooms. It can also be heavily damaged when temperatures dip below -4 degrees Celsius, like this one. As you can see, the leaves are slightly hurt from the frostbite, turning the edges brown. You can see the leaves are slightly hurt from the frostbite. It has recovered pretty well. Now the upcoming leaf is growing and it doesn't look like it has frostbite damage. We will keep an eye on this bird of paradise and its new growing leaf to see if it's damaged or not from the frostbite. And the last but not least, snake plant, or those snake plants used to be sansevierias. Recently their category has been changed, but honestly it will always remain a sansevieria for me. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right. Join us to discover if this snake plant that was planted in a crystal jar with green gooey, with no soil and rot bound, will survive. Woo! Has some damage. We have researched and apparently this green jelly turns out to be hydrogel, used to retain water to later slowly release it. But in this case, there was no soil, and as you can see, it is all on the bottom. Now it is in well-draining soil. Hopefully, it will recover. Have you ever used hydrogel on a plant? Or have you ever bought a plant that came with it? Write it all down in the comments. That's all for our planting news today. Thanks for watching Plant O'Clock News. Join us next week for more planty updates, and remember to water your